Hi, hello, and welcome to a new video. Today we'll talk about a serious topic I thought about and talked about multiple times on this channel. It's New Jeans and Heejin and Hybe situation. So the content in this video is so far the information we have on September 12th. In my country, it's currently exactly 6 p.m. So September 12th, 6 p.m. first time zone, like +1. On August 27th, 2024, Heejin officially resigned as the CEO of Adore and was replaced by Kim Jo-young, who was previously an HR specialist. Between that and September 11th, where most of our conversation is going to be around the live that New Jeans had on September 11th, between that, nothing happened in the public concerning New Jeans except their attendance on the Fact Music Awards, where nothing quote-unquote political against Hybe happened, though they did take a picture with aespa, which is Bang PD's, the CEO of Hybe's biggest rival group, and he really does hate them, so one could interpret it that way, but I think that was just the girls supporting each other. On September 11th, New Jeans started a live stream on a burner YouTube account called, the YouTube account was called New Jeans. The live was called What New Jeans Want to Say, and here is me just putting some of the the things I thought were the most important, highlighting them, but you can watch the full lives with English translations re-uploaded on YouTube. I will link one of those down in the description, and if I don't, please yell at me in the comments, remind me. So the girls said they cannot share everything that's happening, obviously, due to contract obligations, but that they also refuse to keep quiet. Danielle said in the beginning, CEO Heejin is not only the person that produces our music, but someone who makes New Jeans who we are. She's integral to New Jeans' identity, and we all feel that she's irreplaceable. Heejin also shared a statement which I think is really important and really powerful and honestly really brave of her to say. She said, just like we all have our own individual and personal feelings, we have a chore to choose how we will react to the news in this situation, and we are not going to follow Hybe's every order blindly. Many people had a problem with that comment of hers and with the entire live, but we'll continue on. And Hani also mentioned greeting a group and their manager saying don't talk to her, as well as she mentioned expressing her concerns to their new CEO, who basically dismissed her, and Hani felt the woman implied that Hani was a liar. They ended the live mostly with, we just wanted to follow our dreams, what did we do wrong, which tugged on, I think, a lot of people's heartstrings, because you have to remember that these girls are 21, the oldest, and Heejin debuted when she was 16. So the K-pop side of the internet and the fandom was split. I think the reasonable side, and this is my subjective opinion, but in my opinion, the reasonable, normal side basically understands that New Jeans truly believe in what they said. I am personally not, and I will never be, a Heejin defender. I made 2 videos talking about her. I'll link them in the description as well, but this is basically the 3rd part of that series. I am not defending New Jeans. I am not defending Heejin in any capacity. I don't think she's a good person, definitely. I don't think that. But what I find a problem with, other than obviously the entire company, but that the reason I make these commentaries is for us fans to try to understand and change something, or maybe enlighten us. And the reason I'm making this particular commentary isn't because I think Hybe will care anything. They know the situation better than us and the New Jeans broadcast. I'm saying this because half of the fans, especially other groups, other fandoms within Hybe, whose groups are within Hybe, started attacking New Jeans, saying, oh, if they were really mistreated, they wouldn't have spoken out. They couldn't have spoken out. If they were really mistreated, they would have this and that. They are just greedy. They are in a cult with Heejin or whatever. And you are talking about like an 18-year-old girl who was thrown into this industry, whose grown people, grown men and women, used them, their talents, their bodies, their everything. For example, they leaked their trainee videos, which is, I understand that in theory they signed a contract and there is obviously they have the right to do that, but just because they have the right to do that doesn't mean it's moral or correct, especially when you make 13-year-olds do suggestive dances, like 13 to 15-year-olds, and you then leak those videos later. There is a reason why people don't leak trainee videos. And while I understand that maybe those choreographies are good to learn, and maybe it's a practice, or maybe it's even fun for that 13 to 15-year-old to do that choreography, whatever, it doesn't mean you should leak it in public for people to see. There's a big difference. And I've always said Hybe is a shady company, and I stand behind that every single time. But I think the problem here are just Hybe stans and everyone else who thinks NewJeans is doing this for any other reason than self-preservation or trying to keep themselves safe. I think speaking out is the wisest thing they could have done. Probably not the wisest, but it is the wisest thing. And when we're looking at the wider picture, I think an abused victim should speak out when facing said abuse. And these girls, from their perspective, their one trusted adult has been taken away. All of their staff that worked with them for years and years and years was just now taken away, and they have been put into this situation where they aren't certain of their careers, they aren't certain of anything that's going to happen, and everybody else in that company is treating them like outsiders and trying to sabotage them. While also people try to accuse them of manipulating or trying to take someone else's success, when objectively NewJeans is currently one of the most successful groups with an incredible discography. They are amazing dancers, they're really sweet girls, and they obviously don't deserve anything that's happening to them. The point is, we as fans need to stand up and realize that we are not going to blame children for speaking out for facing abuse. Min Heejin is not a good person, but just because Min Heejin isn't a good person doesn't mean that everyone else in that company is good. Because make no mistake, they aren't chasing away Min Heejin because she's not a good person. That's why they hired her, because she's a good producer, not because she's a good person. They chased away Min Heejin not to keep NewJeans safe, not to do anything in that moral proper regard. They replaced Min Heejin because she tried to take a higher position of power, which didn't work with the Hybe higher-ups, because it's a direct rival to Hybe's own groups, to Ban Si-hyuk's own groups, to the Hybe CEO. She was a rival in their industry because Adore had certain privileges that it still has, but she wanted more, she was greedy. But make no mistake, this has nothing to do with these girls. These girls are just put in a crossfire between two powerful adult figures, and they are just trying to move on and keep their career safe and keep themselves safe. So I guess urge everyone to stop if you have ever spread hate and try to support NewJeans in this situation. Give them everything we can do, and all we can do is hope for the best. Hope that these girls will manage to perhaps maybe transfer to a different company. I think that would be the wisest solution in theory, but I also feel like that would damage their careers. I honestly hope Hybe one day as a company will face consequences for everything they've done since, realistically. But that was all I wanted to say. I wanted to just make this little PSA. Please don't attack NewJeans, don't do anything with them, and try to support them in this difficult time, because it's never the victim's fault. And I will be seeing you in the next one.